While Akira was playing an intense zombie survival game, Kensho was preparing their meal. They were happily camping on the roof, and Akira crossed it off his bucket list before having their meal. He was impressed with Kensho's cooking, and he praised Kensho, saying that he is so popular because he could do anything. But Kensho said that a guy should know how to cook, also saying that it was the reason why Akira couldn't get a date. Akira was provoked by his words, and he declared that he would get a date that same day. However, Kensho was unconvinced, as there are only zombies everywhere, and even Akira himself knows that it's unlikely that he could get a date. After their meal, Kensho started reading Akira's bucket list, but he thought things like wine and dine a flight attendant were pretty much impossible for Akira. Akira refuted that after regaining his freedom from his exploitative company, he just wanted to do everything he wanted without any restrictions. But Kensho only thought that Akira's previous work had messed up his head. Then he asked if he could also add the things he wanted to do to the list. Akira didn't agree, but Kensho had already added become a stand-up comic to the list. Akira refuted that he didn't want to be a comedian like him, but Kensho told him that since he would be dead if not for Akira, he would just join Akira in whatever he wanted to do. And after hearing this, Akira immediately asked him to come with him to Ikebukuro and help him get a super widescreen TV. While traveling on the motorcycle, Kensho searched for ways to become a comedian. He felt troubled when he found out that he needed to go through a training school, an agent, or an apprenticeship. He thought he had a long way ahead of him, but Akira told Kensho that he didn't need a mentor to teach him how to run around naked. Afterwards, he also asked Kensho why he wanted to be a comic. Kensho told him that since he was a kid, he loved watching comedy variety shows, and it became his dream to be a comedian someday. After hearing this, Akira started wondering what his dream was and if it was really to get hired by his former company. But before he could remember the answer, Kensho called him to get his attention back to the road. They needed to stop and look for a different route, as the path in front of them was in total chaos. But before they could find another path, they saw an out-of-control tanker truck coming their way. Kensho started panicking while asking Akira what they should do. Meanwhile, Akira was looking around, trying to find a way out, when he noticed the subway. Afterwards, he drove as fast as he could towards the truck before using a car as a ramp to dodge the truck and escape into the subway. The truck exploded after colliding with the fire truck. Although Akira and Kensho weren't reached by the explosion, the zombie firefighter's head flew in their direction and hit Kensho in the face. Kensho was excited to be racing through the underground mall, but he was thrown out of the motorcycle when Akira made a quick stop to avoid the zombies blocking them. Akira pointed at the stores on the sides, so Kensho thought that they could hide from the zombies if they managed to enter the store. But Akira is still concerned about getting his dream widescreen TV. After escaping inside the store, Kensho was complaining about how hard it was to buy one TV. But they were surprised when a light shone from behind them. It came from a flashlight pointed at them by 3 girls, who also asked if they were infected. Kensho was thankful that there were other survivors, but one of the girls argued that there was nothing to be thankful about as they were trapped inside the store surrounded by zombies. One of the girls cried in desperation after hearing it, while the man behind them had already accepted their deaths. Kensho immediately tried to console the crying girl. He told her that the zombies might move on after a while, and that they are lucky since they are inside a department store with food that would last for a while. The other girls agreed, but they took some alcohol to help themselves overcome the fear, and they also gave Kensho and Akira some beer before leaving to look for snacks. After preparing the snacks and alcohol, all of them gathered around the light and introduced themselves. Both Akira and Kensho thought that it felt like they were whining and dining with the girls. Kensho noticed the determined look in Akira's face, and he immediately introduced themselves. He tried asking for the other man's name, but he thought it was hopeless when he saw the man constantly mumbling about their deaths. So he asked the girls instead. The 3 girls were Reika, Maki, and Ootori. However, they all turned completely silent after this. To improve the mood, Kensho told the girls how he and Akira had been buddies since college, then asked the girls if they were co-workers. Reika told them that they were returning from their last flight, but when they arrived in Japan, the zombie infection had broken out. After hearing this, the 2 got excited, and when Akira asked for their profession, Reika confirmed that they were flight attendants. The duo got even more excited when they realized that they were really whining and dining with flight attendants, one of the tasks on Akira's bucket list that Kensho thought was impossible. However, the atmosphere became tense when they heard the noise from the zombies trying to forcefully open the store entrances. Akira felt troubled that his dream wasn't going as planned because the girls weren't having a good time because of the threat of the zombies. He tried thinking of ways to make the situation better, but he didn't know what to do since all he had been doing was working for the exploitative company, and he didn't have any dating experience. Akira thought that he had to ask Ootori if she had a boyfriend, but she couldn't believe that he was actually asking that. Even in their situation, Akira started panicking after realizing that he had messed up, but he immediately looked for Kensho to help him with his situation. However, Kensho forgot about him already, and he already has his own world with Maki. Akira was envious of the two. He wished he was good-looking and good with words like Kensho. Kensho noticed his stare, but he just smirked and rubbed it on Akira's face, showing how good he was at getting the ladies. But Akira wasn't ready to accept his defeat yet. He introduced himself again, telling everyone how he had more spirit and guts than anyone after working for an exploitative corporation for 3 years, and then he started snorting the tequila in one go. Kensho couldn't believe what Akira was doing, but Reika thought Akira was funny and she cheered him on to keep going. Kensho wouldn't let Akira outdo him, so he started doing his buck-naked jokes, and they all had a good time after that. Akira had accepted his failure while throwing up in the toilet, and he could only hope that Kensho could score with Maki. However, Ootori suddenly showed up behind him, asking if he was alright. While Akira was wondering if he still had a chance, it was revealed that the old guy was actually bitten by a zombie. Reika was totally drunk. She thought the old guy was just being handsy. It was too late when she noticed that he had already transformed into a zombie. Kensho noticed her scream, but Maki wouldn't let anything disturb their fun, so Kensho had no other choice. Meanwhile, Akira started making his move again when he started feeling better. He asked Ootori why she was really concerned for him, but she told him that she was just worried since she was certain that he had gone overboard with the tequila, and she also told him that she has a boyfriend. Akira could only cry after hearing this, but he thought Ootori was a really sweet person, seeing how she was genuinely worried for him. At the same time, Kensho and Maki finally went to look for Reika, but they are way too late, as Reika has already completely transformed into a zombie. She immediately pounced on Kensho after seeing him, and although he managed to dodge, Maki was too drunk to do the same, so she was bitten by Reika. Afterwards, Reika started attacking Kensho again, so he had no choice but to hit her with the suitcase. Kensho panicked when he realized that he had killed her, but he also realized that the old guy was missing. At the same time, Ootori recalled when Akira mentioned that he was working for an exploitative corporation. She told him that she could understand him since her work is also physically and mentally demanding. She mentioned how an old guy started insulting her because of the flight delay, going as far as calling them a bunch of flying waitresses. Because of this, she questioned herself if she had made a mistake by thinking that it would be the glamorous job of her dreams. After hearing this, Akira told her if it really was her dream and if she wanted to continue doing it, she shouldn't let some angry old guy's words affect her. But before she could respond, the old guy who had turned into a zombie pounced on her from behind. Akira gets the zombie off her and punches it hard enough to throw it down the stairs. However, Ootori was already bitten by the zombie. Before transforming into a zombie, Ootori told Akira that on her first flight as a kid, she was airsick, but a flight attendant gently rubbed her back, and it made her so happy that she wanted to become like her when she grew up. Also telling Akira that it was her dream and she really loves her job. And while saying that she had a fun time with Akira and the rest, she pushed him away to escape from the zombie. Akira was crying while running to look for Kensho. Although Kensho was also escaping from Maki, he still thought of taking a widescreen TV for Akira. Akira started laughing because of this, and then they carried the TV to the motorcycle before escaping. After returning to their base, Kensho told Akira that he was now traumatized by the flight attendants after what had happened. Akira remained silent, but he recalled how Kensho and Ootori talked about their dreams, so he updated his bucket list, adding remembering his childhood dream. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and look forward to the next part.